I'd also like to recognize our outgoing District 7 council member, Brother John Muhammad. Brother John, can you stand? So, Councilmember Muhammad has served our community for many years, and I want to thank you for stepping up to represent District 7 in a time of need, and we look forward to your continuing service in our community. I would like to present you from the Mayor's Office the Distinguished Service Award, and it reads, presented to the Honorable John Muhammad, Member of City Council, District 7, 2022 through 2025, in recognition of your leadership and advocacy, reflecting your commitment to our beloved city and District 7. Thank you for your service and dedication as a distinguished member of St. Petersburg City Council. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you, Mayor Welch, and also on behalf of City Council would also like to recognize the service of outgoing council member Brother John Muhammad, and doing so is Chair Fig Sanders.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. So this moment brings me quite an honor because it's personal.
Yes, ma'am.
This is personal. During a time when we needed someone to stand up, come in, be willing to learn, be willing to make a difference, and to feel what was such an unwelcoming moment. Mm-hmm. You still brought it.
Yeah.
You still handled it. When we put our support behind you, that was what we intended to do. It wasn't by chance. And we appreciate the fact that you have been here. You didn't just start when you sat on the dais. And we're looking for you to continue leaving the dais. We need so much more.
Yes, ma'am.
And as you see, it's completely different on that side than it is over here.
Of course.
It's completely different on that side. But a lot of the things that we get done because of people like you that are out there on the ground, that have that lived experience. You know I'm here. Mm-hmm. You know I'm not afraid of a mic.
Right.
And I want to make sure that we continue to get the things done for our constituents. You know, there's a right and there's a wrong way to do anything. Mm-hmm. And you've learned how to maneuver those pieces to get it done. So when we asked you to step in and step up, you did. So I know this is supposed to be from council, but for me, this right now, this is for me because I know what it took for you to join the group. I know what it meant for you to come in and want to play this role, and it's not for the weak of heart. Absolutely. And so I want to thank you. And as chair, on behalf of City Council, you got a nice little flag.
I did. I got a couple.
We want to thank you again for stepping up and continue to show those out there that we need them, that we shouldn't have to look for people to want to serve, because there's so much that we have yet to do. You were that example. You were that example, and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
We thank you.
Oh, man. I didn't prepare anything. I was like... Just a minute, y'all. Let me collect myself.
Oh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of council, Mayor Welch, city staff, residents, and stakeholders of the city of St. Pete, it is my sincere prayer that God's peace and blessings be with us all in this new year. Whew. As we've seen in years past, the year may start off happy, but in a moment's notice, everything can change. However, if God's peace is with us, we can rest assured and know that whatever trial, tribulation, or challenge comes our way, we will be all right. As I reflected on this moment, and I've done so many times, about January 2nd, I woke up this morning and the thought came was, today's the day. And I thought about what I would say and what I would want my last words as an outgoing council member to be. So here's where we landed. First, I wanted to try and keep it to 3 minutes because that's the time that we give to the public to speak. And I wanted to honor that, but I knew it was impossible to do that in this moment. So then I said I'll try and do it in 7 because that's the time that we give the council members to speak. But true to council fashion, sometimes when the buzzer go off, we just keep going and continue until we get it over, but I won't belabor. So in the end, I just decided to let the chips fall where they may and say what's really on my heart and mind in this moment, while also being considerate and knowing that we have many other platforms and many other opportunities to address the public. So I won't try and say it all today. So with that in mind, I start with gratitude and appreciation. I want to thank my wife, who has been by my side for over 30 years now. And were it not for her support and her permission, I know I wouldn't have taken this route and would not be here. Her steadfast support, prayers, patient perseverance, grace, mercy, silent power. Did I say patience? Perseverance have never wavered, and I'm truly grateful for that. I also would like to thank my colleagues on council. Specifically those who voted to appoint me to this body over 812 days ago, not that I'm counting or anything like that, and those who didn't, because we've built a bond as a council and as a team that I think really has impacted the city in a positive way. I appreciate your vote of confidence, and I can only pray that you don't have too many regrets, while I know that some second thoughts were inevitable. To our District 7 legislative aide, I didn't see him. We usually don't see him up here. J.C. Pritchett, who's under the leadership of Cindy Shepard, who's done an amazing job. I just want to let you know, J.C., that I appreciate you, my brother, and I'm looking forward to manifesting all the good that we see and we discussed so that I can look back and say, I remember when. I also didn't hear or recognize, and I don't see her in the room, but I want to thank Commissioner Renee Flowers. Y'all know Renee? Mm-hmm. She spent a lot of time in political capital in her advocacy to support my appointment to this body, and it may have strained some of her personal and professional relationships in doing so, and I'm truly grateful for all that she did to support me being here. There are many who supported me prior to and during my time on council, and I can spend just 7 minutes naming them all, but I don't intend to do that. And every time I look, I think about you, Copley, because the first time I heard call to question was when I was making the speech, presentation. You know what call to question meant? It means shut up and let's vote. Talk about lessons learned, right? So I'll say it like this. Most of the people who helped me and support me didn't do it in their own names or on their own accord. They did it in the name of a cause or a mission or an initiative that was bigger than themselves. And so in the name of God, and when I thank them and I thank God, I'm thanking him for them because I know that he either allowed it or caused you to join me and to contribute to our work together. How we looking on time? Lastly, to council member-elect, or council member now, Corey Givens Jr. I have with me a baton. And I'm going to give it to you. I talked to a few people about it, and some actually advised me to hold on to it. This when y'all say, what? They said, hold on to it and wait for you to grow a little more. And I seriously thought about that. But then I realized that this baton does not belong to me, so I can't hold it. It's not a sign or a symbol of a personal endorsement or support or any of those things, but I do support you in your journey. What this baton represents is the hopes, the dreams, the desires and aspirations, the confidence and the trust that our residents placed in me when I was appointed, and now in you after being elected. So for me to hold on to this baton would be a grave injustice and would continue a perpetuation of some of my issues that I have with the status quo. We're given a community trust that we have to, when we reach the end of our term, being able to recognize that our time has passed and that the next generation is ready and willing to accept it. So it is my prayer that you will honor this trust by making sure that your thoughts, deeds, and actions line up on the side of truth, fairness, equity, and positive impact. I pray we're leaving enough light on the torch, because that's another thing. Sometimes they'll pass the torch and there's no light on the stick, right? So I pray that we're leaving enough light on this torch for you to be able to see your way through as you lead others and grow into this newfound role and responsibility. In conclusion, and I grew up in the Baptist church, so y'all know this is really only the first conclusion. In conclusion, we have some big decisions to make ahead as a city, and I pray that you all will not only follow your heads, but follow your hearts, as I've come to see that you absolutely will do. If my time in office has shown us anything, I would like for it to be a demonstration that you don't have to compromise your convictions in order to show compassion.
Amen.
Our good morals are manifested in our good manners and in the way we treat one another. I'm looking forward to returning to life as a private citizen and continuing to work with you all that we've started and making a public impact. And in the words of the great Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about it.
That's all I got.
This is real nice.
Councilmember Gabbard.
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair, for a few more moments. Just wanted to say to you, John, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for being willing to step up, for being willing to serve. I have known you for many years, and I know the man you are, and that is why I supported you for the appointment, and I have never, ever for a moment regretted that decision. You carry yourself in a way through everything, through the good, through the bad, through controversy. You carry yourself true to who you are every single day, every single step. And that is a part of someone's character that you can't fake. It just is who you are. And, you know, when you serve in public service, people have a lot to say about you, right? And they think that they know who you are. They think that they have an idea of who you are. And then sometimes you read these things that people say about you, and they don't match up with who you know you really are or who you know your colleague is, right? And many times I have heard people say things, and I've thought, that is not the man I know. That is not the man that stands before us every day and leads the city as part of this body. And you continue to move forward. You continue to do it with integrity, because at the end of the day, I know it was important to you to leave here the same person, if not better, than how you came. And you have done that. And I think what you just did with Councilmember Givens now, passing that baton, that right there is just such a symbolism of who you are. You are a role model. You are a leader in this community. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, not only for your friendship, but for who you are and what you have brought to the table. Thankful for your family and the sacrifice. I know it's been hard on your wife watching you go through this experience. And so I just want to thank her for her sacrifice as well. The day you called me and told me that you were not going to seek re-election, I was brokenhearted. But at the same time, I had to think, he's doing this because he knows that there is another path, and you will never stop serving this city. And so I just want to thank you. Thank you from my family. Thank you from me for who you are and what you have done for us. I love you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Floyd.
Thank you. I'm just going to tell a little story real quick. When I first moved to St. Petersburg, I was, I don't know how to say, like, eager to get involved. And I met some people around town and got, active in the community, advocating for issues that, you see me up here advocating for all the time. And I would say, like, to people that I met, where should I go to learn about our city? Who should I meet? And a name that came up constantly in every single conversation was Brother John. And so I went to I feel like it was a New Deal for St. Pete meeting. I think it was at PTech. I don't know if this was the first time we had met or just one of the first times. And just started learning about our city. And it was incredibly beneficial to me to hear from people who had been around the block and know exactly what's going on. And I don't think I'd be here today without being able to get connected to the right people. And you were definitely a key part of myself growing as an activist in the city. And so I'm really grateful for it. And because of that, I know that it ain't going to be very long before I see you out in the streets or in here again. Honestly, please don't come to the next council meeting. I know you're not going to. I know you probably want some time off, but yeah, I know you need a little bit of time to unwind from this because it's a unique challenge. And I saw you struggle with that at times and thrive in it at times. And I know that your role in the community is going to be almost as impactful, if not more impactful, than you being up here with us. So I'm really grateful for it. I'm grateful for everything we went through up here, everything we went through before, and everything we'll go through after. So thank you so much for your service.
Councilmember Hanowitz. Well, no, Vice Chair Hanowitz.
Thank you, Chair. Councilmember Muhammad. We met so many years ago. Yeah. And I still remember, same thing as Councilmember Floyd said, your work in the community then, through your time in City Council, and I know that you're going to continue the same service to our community. The dedication that you have shown through your time here, to me, is remarkable. Your honesty, your integrity, and I will tell you, even when we disagreed, I always appreciated how I knew that what you were saying and how you felt was coming from the heart. Never had issue with that. And I know we had some spirited debates, and we had some serious issues come through this dais in the last 3 years, and we had some tough votes. But you, through it all, were truly and honestly a great representative for your community. And I thank you for your service, and it's been a joy and an honor to serve with you. Thank you so much.
Chair Gertis.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry to see you leave, but I think, there's been talk of the decisions that we've made over the last 3 years, but I really want to focus on two quick things that I think go under the radar more and more as those two grow up.
Yeah.
I try to look of the lens of kids, right? I mean, you hear me, kindergarten it for me, right? Yep. And so, so two things that I hope my kids see. One, the willingness to raise your hand, to put it on the line. Mm-hmm. Whether it's an appointment, whether it's an election, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because you're going to get punched in the face, and then you're going to get high fives, right? It's like this total emotional garbage bag that's given to you once you do that, right? And so, but what I want my kids to see is you shouldn't be afraid to raise your hand.
Yeah.
That's the first one. The second one is at the end. That was the beginning of the spectrum. The end of the spectrum is you choosing not to rerun. Knowing where is my happy place? Where do I serve best? That's important. You could have reran.
And won. No.
That wasn't the calling. That wasn't the calling. Listening to the call.
Yeah.
That I want my kids to know, that just because you're in a lane doesn't mean you have to stay there. You're allowed to change course. And you should if it's not your call. You know, I was at an event on Monday and I got asked, actually my dad got asked, was Copley going to be a priest? And I was this far. I had the plane ticket and I didn't go. And it's a good thing I didn't, because that wasn't my calling.
Yeah.
Now, that's easier to say without Bishop Lynch in here. But that's my calling,
Right.
right? It's okay to change lanes. And I think that's two things that go under the radar with your time here that I hope my kids see, and I hope every kid in the city of St. Petersburg sees. And by the way, all the adults too, because it ain't too late. You can always change lanes, right? So I appreciate the service, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Thank you. And thank you to my colleagues who have spoken so far. I echo many of the sentiments. Like some of the others, we met long before you joined us on the dais here, and you really showed me a lot about the foundational issues that we needed to address in order to create a new deal for St. Pete.
Yeah.
I had seen you working in the community, working in with your neighborhood. I knew that you understood neighborhoods and what was going to help move us forward, especially in neighborhoods that had not received the attention that they deserve. So, having that background, I had a real appreciation for the service that you showed once you were on city council. And no matter how you voted, no matter what you stood for, we knew that it was with integrity. And I think that's something that everyone can learn from, no matter what you believe, no matter where you stand. If you do it with integrity, you'll always be respected. And I have the utmost respect for you for carrying out these duties in that way. I have enjoyed working with you, and I know that as you continue on or back to this path, you're going to do it with a stronger stride because of the experience that you gained from here, from being in City Hall, from being on City Council. And I hope that that experience is going to help to take you to newer heights with your work out in the community, because that's going to be good for St. Petersburg. So I look forward to seeing what you do next, and I look forward to finally going back to having conversations with you about the issues and how we can work together to continue serving St. Pete.
Thank you.
And just quickly to Councilmember Givens, that baton means a lot. And I have absolute confidence that you are going to be able to run with it. And you've got some big shoes to fill, but I know you brought your own shoes too. So I look forward to working with you and continuing this work together for our city.
Thank you.
All the best to you, sir.
Councilmember Givens.
Thank you so much. Brother John, this means the world to me. I, like Councilmember Floyd, met you about 15 years ago. I was fresh out of college, and I was looking for a way to get involved, a way to give back. And you and Brother Jabbar, you gave me that opportunity. I remember our meetings at the SEIU office in P-Tech. We went up to bat. You took a lot of heat. When we went up to bat, we actually went up to bat for this seat. Both of us applied to be appointed to this seat, and I was happy to throw my support behind you at that dais. You, sir, are a true statesman. You have shown us what integrity means. You have shown us what it means to be true to self, to collaborate but not compromise. You've taught me that. You have been the Paul to my Timothy. And I thank you for that. I thank you for the mentorship, for the leadership, for the tutelage that you have given me. I know I'm taller than you, but you got bigger shoes than me. So you leave some huge shoes to fill, as Councilmember Driscoll said, but I'm quite confident that you have equipped me well enough to serve. So thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. So seeing no further requests to speak, I think I gave my own little mini sermon of how appreciative I am of you and your service. And, you know, and again, for those that didn't understand Councilmember Driscoll's comment, when we're on the dais, we can't talk to each other when we're not on the dais. So we can't get that heart-to-heart, those one-on-one, have those conversations about things that we know our community needs. And when I hear your community, I always look at it as our community. Because everything we do citywide, and we do for everyone that lives here, works here, plays here, who calls this place home. So thank you, Brother Muhammad, for all that you've done, and best wishes to you and your family. And we know we'll be seeing you around. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.